I'm going to enter into a very hot topic. At what age should baby horses be started? How much work should they do? How hard should it be? And my education comes from 42 years of training horses. So I have started baby horses and I have ridden Grand Prix many times, and we now have a 20-year-old Grand Prix horse very happily working as a schoolmaster. We've had 22-year-old Grand Prix horses still competing sound and happy till they're 24. So my level of experience is coming from the proof is in the pudding, and we have produced hundreds of healthy, happy horses. So the way we do it, this is Sonic. He is 4 years old. He has just done a couple of shows because he needed to go out and see the world a little bit. He has come in and out of training since he was weaned at 6 months old, probably, well, what would you say, Greg, 20 times? Now, that training is what is really important. When I say training, I'm not talking about running them around a round yard with the shoulders on the wrong angle and going a million miles an hour and cantering them and bucking them out and all that kind of crap. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about when he was 6 months old, he had a quiet little walk in the corner of the arena and was halter trained. He wasn't halter trained by us, we bought him after that, but the fellow who did it did a really, really nice job. So halter trained as in he led an arm's length away, he learned to turn away from the handler, he learned to ground tie, he learned to go up on a float, stand in a wash bay, have a rug on. Okay, so that is the beginning of starting. Then you continue on that then when he's in between growth spurts, and we can show you what they look like when they're in between growth spurts. So at the moment he is in a growth spurt, so he's having a lunge today because his hindquarter has come a lot more high than his wither. So they're immediately dropped out of heavy work and they're walked in the paddocks, they're given a little bit of a light lunge. So when we talk about starting babies, our babies often won't even canter until they're 3 years old. But by the time they canter, they're very, very balanced. They've learned how to take a very loose connection. Their bodies have learned how to turn a circle, how to flex their ribs. So we're not suddenly taking a 5-year-old, and often our horses are 17 hands, right? We're not suddenly taking a horse that is huge, none of his joints, none of his ligaments, none of his muscles, nothing has been taught what it's going to do as an adult horse. So you have that problem for injury. You also then have a horse that is either been coddled and not trained, so it's a pig and difficult and stands on your head, or it's wild. Either of those options are potential for them to be injured, or a very big potential for you to be injured. And we make a living out of training horses, and I think the most dangerous horses we have ever had here are 5-year-olds that have either been coddled and not trained, or not trained